Good morning, guys. Just started this morning. Got some stuff tacked on, and I'll walk you through what I did. When I left off yesterday, I just had those bottom bars done, right? So now what I'm doing, see the forks, they'll slide in here, they're gonna set here, and they're gonna go through there, right? And that top bar will keep them from tipping one way or another, right? And then this bar here, they'll come up and bump against there. So the way that I have it set, if they're 2.5-inch forks, they come off because they're rounded at the bottom. So I inset this so the flat part hits here and the round part will be out here, because I don't want them sliding down and getting all goofy and getting wedged back in there. But they'll sit flat here, and that front face of that fork will mean that it's right on that flat edge down there. So what I did was cut these all about, cut those at 16. One here, and then if you notice, I notched that one to go around that center bulkhead or whatever you want to call it. Tacked it to this one too. So what I do is I definitely want to make sure it's square this way, tack it where you need to, get these ones all done, okay? Get that top bar on, hard tack it, and if you notice, I got a strap going from there to there. It's because this one was just a little bit out, so I used my ratchet strap, pull it into square, and then hard tack it on the side that it needs to hold. So when I weld it, I'll go ahead and weld that side first, just in case there's any spring to it. And I'll come back and hit this side as soon as I'm done. Just let them pull against each other. So that's that. And I've got it overhung about an 1/8 inch here, because if that next one's got an 1/8 inch overhang, got a 1/4 inch here, so they'll butt right up to each other. So and when I do weld it, I'm going to leave these corners open down here, guys, and I do that to let the moisture out. So I'll do that on everything. I try not to close up tubing at all, just because I want to let some moisture out of it. Moisture's going to collect in it. Nothing's perfectly sealed. I mean, I guess I could perfectly seal it, but I just like to let it open, let it get some air in there, moisture drip out, whatever. So I doubt that it's gonna ever make a difference, but it makes me sleep better at night. so okay, well, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna weld that fully. I just wanted you guys to see where I'm at. So what I'll do next is after that's all done, then I'm gonna set that with a forklift next to the other one, and we'll see how they line up. So if you notice, there's not a foot on this one. That's because the rack that's sitting against here has a little foot on the bottom, and that is going to share that foot, right? And it'll bolt together on that other bulkhead. I'm gonna call them bulkheads, I don't know what they are, but the other one's going to sit here, and then this will set right on that foot on that other one. So they'll share that foot. See, this one has it and that one has it. So the next one to this, the bolts up here, will not have a foot, and it'll share that surface right here. And you can offset them. I offset this one, if you look, 1/8 of an inch this way, because when I set that one on there, it'll be right in the middle. You can offset them. This is thin enough and that's wide enough to, if you did center it on this, it's not going to hurt if it's off just a little bit. But that's that. So let me get this welded up, and I'll put it up against that one after we're done and come back and show you guys. If the bolt holes line up and everything looks okay, then I did my job. If not, then once again I look like a fool in front of you guys, but I hope not. So all right, guys, well, I think that was all I was going to tell you. I talked too much, I think. Okay, we'll get back at you. All right, guys, so I got this rack done. If you notice, it's not sitting on the ground right there. It's not because it's warped or distorted. The ground's uneven. So let me just kind of show you what we're doing here. So here's what I was talking about. Okay, this one's got a foot on it, this one's just a blank. See? So what it'll do is that one will share that foot, and better yet, man, all those holes line up, don't they? Pretty cool. Yeah, that means I did something right, kinda, right? Yeah. So that's what it'll do, and see how it sits right down there on that. So once again, the forks will come in here, they'll sit here, they'll go through that space and rest on over there, right? And then up here, they can be strapped to this. I might put some hooks or something on it with a cable, I don't know. But they all line up pretty good. They're not bolted together yet, but it turns out pretty good, didn't it? Yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna get on with the next one. Hey, not too shabby. Look at those bolt holes. They'll line up just fine. Perfect. All right, let me get on to the next one. So this one, just so you guys know, and you see it's different, I'm gonna get some channel and go this way. Then I've got some pipe, some of this stuff here, and those big auger bits over there, right over there. There's gonna be that channel going across there, about a 6-inch piece of pipe standing vertical, and those auger bits are gonna sit right down in there, and they're gonna sit right down right here on this one. That's why there's no crossbar, headache bar up top or whatever. So that's what that's gonna be. Okay, well, let me get kind of mess myself a little bit with this guy. A little bit of an idiot, if you ask me, but hey, I thought I'd get ahead of myself, and it's gonna be a little harder with that notch not open. I went ahead and put those feet on there, but I shouldn't have done that, but whatever, we'll get through it. All right, guys, well, let me get to this, and hopefully I'm gonna finish this other one today. I've got 2 more to do, and then they're gonna go over here in this area. 40 feet worth right in here. All right, guys, been talking long enough. All right, guys, so I got that cross member in for the 24-inch. So it's pretty simple. The number for the auger is the diameter, right? So 24 inches the diameter. That's a 30 over there, but so we're putting a 24 here. So this guy is going to come out to just about there, right? So this is a 4.5-inch OD pipe, outside diameter. So to get to the center, be 2 1/4, right? So the radius of that 30-inch would be 15 inches, and I'm going to add 2 1/4 to that, right, to get to the center. So 15, so it should be what, 17 1/4. So we're right about there for 17 1/4. That's the long side of that, right? So 17 1/4. Follow all around that. So we've got a pretty good distance right here. So the peak on this one, I'm gonna bring it to about, I just want to make sure it's not gonna hit right about there. So let's bring that peak probably to here. So I'll probably put the 15 there, right? And it'll hang over on this side, but that's fine. So so that's that. I'm going to set the camera down, and I'm just going to weld. I won't have any close-ups of welding because I don't have my lens yet, or I'm not set up to do all that right now. So I'll just set it up at a distance, let you guys watch. Somebody had commented they want to see more welding, so until I get an auto shade for this, probably not going to be like them guys in Pakistan or wherever that put their camera right up to weld. So I don't really want to ruin this thing, but let me put you down, let me get set up, and then we'll get fired up. How you doing? All right, guys. Sorry about that. But had an unexpected guest come up here. But anyways, sorry. Here's the. I didn't chip that. It peeled right off. But that's what that looks like. And what I was doing is I started here, and it's just habit for me. I run a cadence in my head. So what I'll do, a count. I'll go, you know, move it 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and all the way down. That's my welding cadence. I don't know if anybody else has anything that they do, but that's what I do. This one I'm going to run a couple beads on because I'm going to fill that one, and I'll grab you guys and show you what I mean, and then I'll come back and then do my weave back in. Okay. Alright guys, that's what I was doing. I was filling that up, right? So now I got a good base. So let me come back and cap that off with that weave like I was showing you. right, you guys caught me. Stuck the rod in the beginning there, but I got it restarted. So do you see it peeling? Oh, look at that, right off. Didn't even chip it. Little chip right there, but that's fine. Nothing bad. Whatever. What do you think? Look pretty good? So then I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're feeding the rod and dragging. So, all right, well, let me get set up. I'm going to do some verticals and I'll show you guys as well. Alright guys, here we are. See that? Got a little fast right there, but I still kind of do the same count, but you get into a little, like I don't really swoop like that. I kind of go this way and this way, then weave it back and forth. Keep a tight arc. Tight arc means keep that rod close as you can to that puddle. Keep a short arc length. So go back and forth and work your way up. You're not going to be dragging up. You're either going to be straight on, you're going to be 90 degrees to this, or you might have a slight pushing. But just keep pushing, because you're going to have to move and feed that. Keep going. Now you're going to see that slag, molten slag, run off, and it's going to scare you if you're getting new to uphill welding. You're thinking it's the metal dripping down. It's not. If you're doing it right, it's not. But you'll see that molten slag run down the weld and you're thinking, oh man, my weld puddle's falling out. It's not. Don't worry. Just keep going. Keep moving. Smooth. As you weave side to side, keep feeding, and you'll get in a rhythm. And we all, some guys are really good at this. I'm still getting better at it. You know, I got a little fast right there too. It's good at the bottom, but I got a little fast at the top. So it's all about practice, practice. But don't be intimidated by what's running off there, because that molten slag just looks like it's molten steel and running away from you. But just keep going. So that's that. Let me get some the rest of this stuff going. I got 2 more on the other side, and then I'll show you about welding that pipe on. All right guys, so when I talked about molten slag, I just thought I'd better show you what I mean. See how it looks like the candle wax there or whatever? It just kind of looks all icky, right? There's a little ickiness right there too. It looks like it's dripping down. You see that? See that? Yeah. So you're gonna watch that. It's gonna run down and look like just molten steel running down. But let me. It chips right off. See? Same with this one. Still scrape. Scrape the scrape. Right. Little brushy brush. Right, little brushy brush. Okay, and look at that. Looks pretty good. I got a little bit of undercut there, but that's because I held that way too long on that. I know I did that. But it looks pretty good. Definitely a lot better than before I chipped that slag off. So, all right, cool guys. But that's what I meant by slag, and it looking like it's just running off. So, okay, don't judge me on my welds. Okay, but let me just get that pipe set up. Alright guys, you see on that first side, when I set this up against here, it was a touch out of square, and it was leaning that way just a little bit. So what I did was I just welded on this side and let that weld, as it cools, it's going to shrink and it's going to draw that back up. So I pulled it into square with that weld. So let's just get a little tap, a little scrape, a little chip. Not too shabby. This side, if you guys saw, right, my arc strike, I hit the pipe there. That's a no-no, as you guys already know. That was my bad. I am horrible about that, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I'm not watching where the tip of the rod is, or if it gets stuck. I just kind of just drag it wherever until I get it where I want it. So I need to get better about that. But none of the stuff's testing, so I should practice though, like That should work like it is getting tested. So with that, that's what that is. So what I do with these guys, same thing, right? Start here, get that puddle hot, get it hot, and then just work it, right? Just kind of come up, and I like to weave it like this. Okay, don't stand too long or you're gonna get a lot of undercut. Don't go too fast, or you know, you just got to get that right little speed. And if you do get some undercut, if you got the right speed, that weld puddle will fill it in right behind you as you're dragging and feeding, dragging and feeding. So not too shabby. But that's what that looks like, guys. I'm gonna run some beads inside now, and then I'll figure out where that 12-inch one's going. Quick look, see what we've got. Nice. Nice. This one's lifting up right here. Okay. Toothbrush out. I just noticed something, guys. I was wondering why my lens was so dark and I couldn't really see nothing. Had these guys on. Yeah, not too shabby, huh? Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna finish up the rest of that, weld that pipe on, and we'll get set. Okay, guys. I'm done. I'm done with this dude. So got all my different tubes welded up. So if you had noticed in my other videos, I had soapstone marked on all those. Not that one, but the rest of these guys. Well, I totally forgot to weld the numbers on them to correspond with the diameter. So if you can do it before you weld everything on, you can lay the pipe flat and just pretty much draw it on there with the welding rod. So I had to do it out of position. It's a little harder and it doesn't look as good, but that's what it looks like when you're got to do that. So always try to put those on first, and then you can, that one I got to lay down and put it on there, but I think it turned out pretty good for welding out of position and doing little curly cues and whatnot. But it's definitely easier to do that before you weld them vertically. Try to always do it when they're flat. So I'm gonna pick my gear up. I'm gonna get everything moved out of the way, and I'm gonna prep the pad over there. And they've generously let me use one of their skid steers, so I'm gonna get in there and move some dirt around and flatten it out, and then I'll start setting these, and then I'll show you guys that process. All right, guys. All right, guys, real quick, so this one's floating off the ground, but it's not my fault. It's just, well, it is my fault. I tried to level the ground out. So anyhow, so I got this one bolted together. Let me just show you. Things kind of line up pretty good, right? This one. I just want to show you real quick. Always have this little dude, your alignment tool. Okay, see, everything lines up pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with it. You know, look at this. Everything is so far so good, right? Oh, well, that one's a little closer. That'll be better. All right. But look at these. Man, I think I was a professional or something. Don't worry, I'm not. But everything lines up pretty good. It looks like you're gonna get some waving here just from the welding and distortion, but it's 1/4 inch, but that's pretty much how it's gonna line up. I've got 5% left, so let me just zip these down real quick. Then I'll show you the last alignment when it's all said and done. All right, guys. Okay, guys, there it is. All bolted together. Look at that. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? Well, you guys will tell me what you think. Look at that. Everything lined up just fine. There's a few low spots in here, and I know what you guys are gonna say. Is that galvanized? Are those galvanized washers on those grade 8 bolts? You betcha they are. They ran out of regular washers, grade 8 washers, so I use those dudes. It'll be fine. It will be just fine, but look at that. Boom. All right, guys, well, I'm done with this project. We'll get it all uploaded, and that's 40 feet of that rack right there. Augers and forks all right there. So that's it. All right, guys, they're gonna paint it, take care of the rest. Catch you guys on the next run.